What's up, my babies? Welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to be taking you guys along with me to create a YouTube intro. So I'm utilizing the app called Canva, and I love Canva because it's super easy. So now we're going to get ready to create our design. It's super easy to find the template that you need. All you have to do is type in YouTube intro, and it already has the margins and the pixels already built for a YouTube intro, the sizes and everything. So now we're going to go ahead and get started. So I type in a Polaroid because I already kind of had a look in mind. So you're going to want to type in the Polaroid frame in the element section and make sure that you select frame so that when you select the pictures, they automatically adjust to the frame. So here, I also love that Canva has the margins. You see that it is saying 141 in between each space. That lets me know that it's perfectly even and spaced out to my liking. So now I'm going to get ready and select a photo to get ready to go in my Polaroid picture frame. So once you select the photo that you want to go with, you're going to put it right in the frame, and it's going to literally fit right into that frame. And you guys will see in just a moment. Boom, there it is. So now all you have to do is crop it or move it or rotate it however you like, which I'm moving mine down so that my head isn't chopped off. And then I'm going to do the same for the other Polaroid picture frames. So again, here you see me just fixing it so that my head isn't chopped off in any of the pictures. Super easy. So now I decided that I wanted the middle picture to be a little larger than the other ones, just kind of for effect purposes. So I decided to make the middle picture larger, and I just am using the outer corners to expand it some. And then the margins are also keeping me within that even space. So I'm just adjusting it. There it is, right to the middle. And so now I couldn't really decide if I wanted a background or not, but I know I wanted something in the back just so it wouldn't be too much white space. So now you see me also going over to the Elements tab, and I type in a black blur. A black blur is basically, it's just not as transparent as a black drop would be. So here I am. I selected the black blur. Literally, you can type anything in that element section and it will bring up something. So here the blur was on top of my picture. So all you have to do is select position up at the top, and then you just expand it. So once you hit position, all you have to do is whether you want it to come forward or if you want it to move backward behind an object that's up there. In my case, I wanted to move it backward, and I kind of was feeling it, but then I was like, it's not doing exactly justice like I wanted. So I tried to get another black background, which I tried to position backwards, and I wasn't really feeling it, honestly. So then I went back to my Elements tab, and I saw something else that I really liked, and which was like this black glitter sand, which was super, super cute. And I'm going to select it, and I'm going to put that as my background next. And so again, you're just going to select position, and then you move it backwards, and it'll go behind your pictures, and it'll go to your background. And then you'll see me using my mouse just to expand it over the length of the page. And it looks pretty cute. Like, I love that. That's aesthetically pleasing, everything. I love it. So here I was trying to change the color of my Polaroid frame. I don't know why it wasn't changing. Typically, you can change the color of whatever your frame is, but I don't know, for some particular reason it wasn't working. But I'm kind of glad that it didn't, because the white or the cream frame was actually kind of growing on me. Here you see me still trying to change the color, but it's not working. But the cream actually started to grow on me because I needed something to break up all of that black anyway. So now I'm going to get ready to type in my YouTube name, which is dydabratt. Again, here I'm just positioning it and making sure that everything is straight and level and in the center. Again, I love how Canva has those margins to keep me perfectly intact. So again, my YouTube name is dydabratt. So you'll see me select the text tab that's over to the left. In just a moment, I'm still finicking here. But now I select the text tab and I select add a heading. So I type in dydabratt. Then, of course, I didn't want that font, so I played around with fonts for a minute. It took me a minute to find my perfect font that I wanted. I played around and played around and played around until I found what I felt like was the perfect one for this particular intro. And so once I found it, I just moved it down and centered it where I wanted it to go. That wasn't the perfect one for it, and then I loved this one. So then I'm just positioning it and making it as large as I want it to be. And then you couldn't really see it, so I started playing around with like some effects. So up at effects, they have the neon, which is almost like a glow. So I selected the neon. I played around with the neon. It still wasn't standing out as bright as I would like it to. I wanted it to be bold because it is your YouTube name. So you want that to, take up majority and be nice, bright, and bold. So it wasn't as bold as I wanted it to. So I added like a blur behind it to kind of, make it stand out on the page. And that was really, really cute. But something about it I just didn't really too much agree with. So I kept playing around with it. And I ended up using the other blur, which is the one that's like a circle almost. I ended up going with that one, just playing around with that as well. It's really trial and error when you're doing this because everybody's taste is different. Everybody's desires for how something should look is different. I played around with mine for a minute to get to my desired liking. I even positioned the black blur. The black blur behind my photos. I wasn't feeling that either. So I kept playing with it because you'll get your desired look, but you literally have to just find what you like. So then the black blur got behind this and I kind of liked it, but I still had to play around with, the color of the dydabratt. So you'll see me playing with it a little bit more. And the reason that I kept this in the video is because it's literally showing you that it takes trial and error. It just depends on your taste. So the blur in one part of dydabratt was covering up. So I had to move it to the back. Literally any element that you use, you can move it backward or forward. I still wasn't digging the color. So I kept playing around with colors. And then I clicked pink and I fell in love. It was like, bam, that's it. And I loved it. So that's more like a fuchsia purple, something like that. So I love that. And then I just positioned it and put it where I wanted it to be. And then I found another font that I loved even more than that one. Again, like I said, trial and error. But I love this one the way it was. So I selected that one. And then here I am just positioning it exactly where I want it to be. A little bit over some of the pictures, just how it's pictured. So now I'm going to add some animations to it, which is like where it'll pan in, just like you see there, where it'll fade out, just to have some animation to the front of the page. And so then you'll also see me select the Polaroid frames to animate as well. So here you see me doing the rise for the middle one. And then for the outside two, I do the fade option. And so while I was actually adding the animations, I noticed that the outside two were doing it just a tad bit too fast for my liking. So if you see the speed down there, you can control the speed. So I just slowed it down some for the outside, just to give that real slow and like real sleek vibe. I didn't want it going in and out too fast, because I knew the song that I put over it was going to be probably just a little bit slower. And so, yeah, then I got it to my desired liking with the animations. I love Canva totally. I use it all the time. This video is not sponsored, but it just allows you to be totally customizable. So now we're moving on to the what people would call the connect with me page, or where you put your socials and everything like that. I don't know what made me go with this picture, but I just liked it. Whenever I make other people's intros, I try to do this page completely different, because this page typically everybody's looks the exact same. So I try and go out of my way when I'm making intros for other people to make this particular part of the intro completely different. I used 3 of the same pictures. Again, the margins tell you exactly how far something is separated between each other. So I used these 3 pictures, and then you'll see me dial the transparency down. So you see that gradient block up at the top. I'll just click that and then type in my desired transparency. You also can move the little toggle button in between, and you can adjust it right there. But I knew exactly what number I wanted mine, which was 55. So I made all the pictures 55 transparency, and you see they got, transparent. Again, like I said, I try and make everybody's connect with me page different. Y'all, it took me 5 minutes to try and come up with like a catchy slogan, because you always put connect with me or vibe with me or follow me or something like that. I tried to come up with a more catchy slogan just to catch the attention of my people and be different. So here you'll see me typing in a circle frame. Again, whenever you want a picture to go into the shape of something, make sure you add frame behind it. So you can literally type in square frame, picture frame, circle frame, any of that. And when you see that little cloud and prairie image, you will literally be able to drag your picture over, and it'll custom and fit right into whatever frame you selected. So here I did 2 circles. I've never done like these little pop-up circles on anybody's, so I did it on mine today. Where I got this from is I love how Instagram has the circles on the stories now, where you can put your pictures into the stories and whatnot. That's where that idea came from. So I actually utilize videos in my circles. So again, guys, Canva is totally customizable. You can add pictures or videos, whichever one you'd like. But obviously, if you're making like a picture postcard or something on this app, don't use like a video in one of your circles, because obviously it's not going to be able to print out if you need to print it out or anything. Just for future reference. So I added my videos to the circles, and I loved how it looked. So now I'm going to type in what I want my catchphrase to be at the top for connecting with me. So I actually came up with keep up with Di, or I think I ended up going with keeping up with Di is easy or something like that. We'll see. Yeah, keeping up with Di is easy. That's what I ended up going with, the little hash line. So it wasn't sticking out how I wanted it to be, so I went to effects and I tried to do the lift. The lift didn't do much for it, so then I went to the neon, which is always my go-to. Actually, prior to me going to the neon, I did the background. This is another thing about Canva that I really like. If you end up not liking something and it doesn't turn out exactly how you want it to, if you want to go back to exactly how you had it, all you have to do in the upper left-hand corner is hit that backspace button, the little back arrow, and it literally takes you back to exactly how you had it. And I love that, because I did not know what that little yellow block was, but I did not want it on my video. So here you see me going to the neon, which I said is my go-to. I love it. I always use it. And so I love that deep black, like how the hoodie is in the black. It just corresponds for me. So then you're going to go back to your elements tab on the left hand corner, and you're going to type in Instagram or an Instagram icon, whatever you like. So here I'm doing Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok because those are my most used platforms. I didn't decide to do Snapchat this time or Twitter because it's irrelevant. These are my most utilized platforms, and these are where, my platform is the biggest. I don't mind giving out my Twitter and Snapchat, but it's just kind of, these are my mains. So then you can also add effects to icons, guys. So I did the exact same effect for each of my icons. I kind of went through and seen which one I wanted, and I like the pan animation. So I selected pan animation for all 3 of my icons. And then we're going to go in and type in my @. So for Instagram, it's @dydabratt. My TikTok is @dydabratt, and then my Facebook is Dyja Gooding. So I'm just tapping all that in. Again, those margins are helping me stay right in space. It's keeping everything nice, neat, and center. So those weren't sticking out for me as much as I needed them to. So I also did the neon with them as well. And so then I added some animations to my text so that they could match the icons as they came in and out. Something was just missing from this page, and I was like, let me add a cell phone. Everybody always uses the cell phone one, but I was like, hey, something is missing from the page and I need something there. Everybody always does the little Instagram scroll. I decided not to go with that. I just did in my elements tab, I typed in an iPhone frame, and then I just put a picture in that frame, and I liked how it looked. So I played back my intro, and my pictures weren't going in and out how they needed to. So once I saw that it wasn't going out how I liked it, I ended up changing the effect to be on both. So basically on both is where it does it from the entrance to the exit. So you guys will see that in just a moment as I go back. So prior to me changing it, it was on enter, but then I changed it to both. The final product.